realize that they will never see the P.
Alright, this is DreCut being DreCut. Real talk video, just trying to give you some game today. Watch it to the end. The topic today is fighting Jacob. Alright, going through school, I had a best friend by the name of Caleb, okay? We were in 6th grade and we had started at Harriet Tubman School. Caleb was about 6 foot tall, okay? 6 foot tall, so that was like my bodyguard, okay? That was my boy. That's my best friend, okay? Caleb was the man, okay? 6 foot in 6th grade, gosh, he's a big kid, okay? Now, there was this kid named Jacob. Jacob, this small little runt kid. Gosh, he was like 4'6", about 100 pounds. But everybody was afraid of this kid, Jacob. He was one of those kids that, you know what, you would look at him and be like, okay, just leave this little kid alone because he's crazy, okay? He was a crazy kid. Everybody told us that. We didn't understand that until later, why everybody was afraid of this kid, Jacob. Now, one day, there was a scenario happen or a situation that happened in which there was an altercation between Caleb, the 6 foot kid, and then little Jacob, all right? You know, Caleb pushed the little kid, says, you're not even worth my time, okay? Jacob wants to fight. Jacob wants to fight because, you know, Jacob didn't like the fact that he was big and he was picking on him, but it wasn't really picking on him. He just wanted to move the little kid out the way like, okay, you're not worth it. Now, Jacob was no joke. Jacob was no joke because Jacob began to start fighting this big dude. It was like David and Goliath, one of those David and Goliath kind of situations. But the funny thing about it is that Caleb just did this, knocked the kid down. Now, Jacob, he had heart. Jacob had heart. Jacob got back up and still tried to fight. Guess what happened? Caleb just says, knocked the kid down again. All right. It went back and forth. It got so back and forth. Caleb got tired and ran off. He said, man, I'm not dealing with this today. This was after school. Caleb went home. Next day, beginning of school, Jacob got a pack of people. Jacob was not done. Jacob did not want to admit defeat. And what we do in our lives is as soon as some things happen in which we get knocked down, we just quit. Not Jacob. Jacob had heart. And I need you guys to have heart like Jacob, okay? Jacob says, let's fight again. All right, Jacob was not going to accept being beat up. All right, Caleb ran off. He says, "Why'd you run off? I was going to give it to you. I was going to give it to you." Now Jacob starts fighting again. He's ripping up Caleb's shirt before school, scratching him and kicking and yelling. He got a pack of people behind Jacob, and Caleb is just doing what he usually does. Boom, knock the kid down. Jacob gets back up. Boom, knock the kid down. And it was crazy. I'm like, man, is this kid Jacob going to give up? Jacob would not give up. All right, and he keeps fighting, keeps getting knocked down. And it was one of those scenarios in which Caleb starts to laugh like, man, I can't believe I'm fighting this little kid. In our lives, don't let getting knocked down mean giving up. Now, the crazy thing about it is that for some reason, Jacob felt like he had the heart of just a ton of people behind him. He had everybody pumping him up. Fight, Jacob, fight, Jacob. And Jacob, you know, he had his face on. He had his game face on. He didn't let it get to him every single time he was knocked down. One thing Jacob did was he was ready. Now, Caleb, he's boasting about how he keep knocking the kid down. All of a sudden, Jacob gets up and he looks at him in his face, and Caleb is laughing like, this kid, whatever. I'm just going to do it again. Jacob cocks back. Caleb looks away because he's laughing at him. Jacob gives him a nice hit to the face. Next thing you know, oh my gosh, my boy Caleb. I'm looking at Caleb. Next thing you know, Caleb is at my height. And y'all know, I'm sure. Caleb will say, timber, bow. Caleb falls down to the ground and everybody's like, Jacob, oh my God, Jacob. Now, it didn't matter how many times Jacob got beat up and got pushed and got put on the ground by Caleb, got knocked out. The thing was, Jacob didn't give up. And in our lives, we can't give up no matter how many times we're knocked down. You got to wait for your time to punch. You got to wait for your time to kick, your time to scratch. And then eventually, after you've been through the storms and after you've been through the whole entire battle, you will see victory like Jacob did. Real talk video. Just trying to give you some game. Fight like Jacob and never give up. Real talk.